So mate, as true as the title, I pulled that out of a barn.
Yep.
And it's been abandoned there for 18 months.
Right.
Now I won't get into it too much, I was on my way home from Renault, JCB, with that little orange car about a month ago. And I walked past this and the chap was out there doing his garden. Anyway, I ended up stopping, I was chatting away to him because he had a couple of nice cars there. And I said, what's the story with that? He said, oh, it's my daughter's car. He said it had a water leak. We come out one day, it had a water underneath it. He said, we reversed it in there and it ain't moved since.
Right, yeah.
So that is pretty much it. It's been parked in there. It was in like a little barn, but no doors on it, obviously. And it's certainly, what sort of tree is that? Gives off all that fur.
It looks a bit like off of poplar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You get the seed.
I'm saying, yeah,
like
I have no idea.
White fluff, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Chris, when I looked at it and I went, is it for sale? And he went, not really.
No.
And I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, I'll leave you my number. And I got chatting to him. I said, I'll leave you my number. If you ever do want to get rid of it, give us a shout.
Looks blinking straight.
It is very, very straight. It's done reasonable miles. I think on the last MOT, it had done 71,000. He said it never done a lot since the MOT. Right. All the tyres look really good.
It does. It looks like it's got a new set on it.
Yeah, that's a little bit flat, but it's not perishing or anything, so it should be all right. But overall, yeah, he rang me up like last week and said, Rob, that little car is there.
You can go.
He said, and I like you, so I'm going to sell it to you. A real nice guy. So, yeah, bought it, mate. Just been and picked it up on the truck.
Yeah.
First time I've been out and picked the car up on the truck for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
But yeah, it's like I say, it hasn't run for 18 months, Chris. All the brakes are free, absolutely fine. So I guess it's
roll it off and try and put it somewhere in shade.
Yeah. Yeah, put it in the shade, get the battery on charge. Because he did say when it parked up there, it run perfectly. So I guess, let's just get it over there, get it off and get this one done. Look at the state of it though.
Yeah. But no, it's all good.
Yeah, looks all right, mate, doesn't it?
Does, very straight.
Let's get it off. Shall we get it off here and push it in, or?
We'll get it as near as possible,
Get it nearer to the door,
yeah. Ain't the weather to be pushing cars.
What is the temperature?
33, I think.
33, wow. Yeah. Right, let's get it off. So, of course, made sense, didn't it? Bring it over nearer the gate. I went and got the jump pack while Chris took off all of the straps, and then we get the ramps out on the back of the truck. Need to get a jump pack on there just so that we can get the steering lock off, so that once all the straps are off, we can just roll it off the back of the truck. I think Chris is in there. Chris got inside the car, wondered what he was doing, but I think we all know he was in there looking for a bit of loose change. Of course, it is a bit of a joke. Chris doesn't keep all the loose change. He saves it up in a pot, and then he donates it once the pot does fill up. But it certainly doesn't stop him looking for a few quid. With it unloaded, let's take a look. Just going to say to Chris, it can't have that much of a leak because it's got water in it, but you can see it's just water.
Yeah, maybe it only leaks when it's running, Rob.
Yeah.
I suppose first things first is we will try and get it running, shall
Well,
we? See.
I was going to say, just try, I'll put the windows down.
What's that got
it's
in
full.
It? Yeah, it's got a bit. I'm going to have to take that towing all out.
Yeah, just give it a go. Chris, sorry, just 1 second first.
Sorry, mate.
Just give us a sec.
Yeah.
Can I give you that? I just want to check the oil. Sorry, mate. There's plenty of oil in it. Right, give that a go.
All right. Well, that was easy.
It's on the button.
Wasn't it? That was easy, mate.
No warnings?
No, nothing. Just the handbrake light. That's it.
Sounds all right.
Sounds all right, mate, doesn't it?
These little 1.6s suffer with the valve, didn't they? You know, on one cylinder. Mind you, it's more the Cooper S.
Yeah, didn't they also suffer with the inlet getting caked up?
Oh, do you know what? I reckon it's obviously had quite a bit of a leak, Chris, because they've been putting tap water in it. I'll tell you one thing, just quickly try that roof.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? Hasn't got very good value if the roof doesn't work.
No. Where's that?
It should be there, is it not?
Just looking.
In the middle there, yeah. Or, no, up there, maybe.
That one there.
Yeah. That opens as just a sunroof on
so
these
is
minis.
it just pull it and...
So that opens as just a sunroof, yeah,
Right.
that bit works. And now you just keep your finger on it and it like will go again, that's it.
Go again, yeah. Go again?
Yeah. It should have just, you just keep your finger on it.
Yeah, I'll keep my finger on it, it's not doing anything.
Well, it's open that far, so there can't be a lot wrong with it.
No, it's...
Unless there's something in the boot that you have to fold down on them. I don't think there is actually on these, but I'll have a quick check. Yeah, there is, but it is down.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe it is. In fact, that's it, obviously the manual release there, isn't it? It's been a long time since I had one of these. Try it again, Chris. I don't think there's going to be a lot wrong with it. Just try and hold your finger on it if you can. Nah. Off and on again? No, we'll have to look into that. Yeah, open that far, so like I say, it can't have a lock because these fold down and stay on top. There's nothing super duper about it.
No.
Certainly sounds alright though.
Maybe you have to have it turned off, ignition on to do it.
Yeah.
So you can't do it going along.
Right, I guess we can't sit here chatting all day. Should we let this run up for quite a while and just see
we'll
if
observe
we can,
it and then we'll put our kit on it as well.
the old pressure bleeder.
We can pump it up and try and see where there's a leak.
Well, I found both leaks on that Fiesta with that pump, didn't I? So
yeah,
I guess let's just let it run. It looks like it's got plenty of fuel.
Yeah, sounds sweet, doesn't
And
it?
74,000
Oh, I thought
miles.
you was going to say 70p then, not?
No. I'll have a play with that roof as well while we're letting it run up.
Yeah.
So I've said it before, guys, and I'll say it again. It doesn't matter if it's a 2001 or a 2025. We always check out every single car that we buy using Convertible, the one-stop shop for checking your car's history. So mileage on this one, you can see, is all perfect. Financial and legal, all perfect. And damage there, all perfect as well. Only 2 ownerships found. And on this, of course, you got your theft check, your mileage, financial status, damaged, natural disasters, market values, specs, ownerships, and my favourite bit, the timeline. So you've got 20 records found, and this will have all of your MOT inputs, any service inputs that have been uploaded, any MOT failures that it's had, and you can clearly see there advisories that it's previously had on an MOT. Then keep on scrolling down there. You've got all of your inspections and, of course, like I said, your advisories. There's even a private number plate that's been on this car at some point in its life. Here is just a brief example. This is only an example of what a check does look like when there is a serious issue. So this Audi A4, you can see mileage clearly highlighted in there, in yellow, financial and legal, and damaged highlighted in yellow, and they all say need attention. I want to thank Convertible for the continued support on doing these checks on the channel. To benefit from a nice little discount off your check, use that code that's been displayed up on screen throughout this check from any browser, or if you just hit the link in the description, it'll automatically divert you to Convertible discount. Apparently, Chris, you've got to have all the windows done up first.
Yeah. To start the cycle.
To start the cycle. As soon as we put the windows up, I just pushed the roof button and it started making all the noises and come down. What a pretty looking little car.
Yeah.
I really like them, and as you know, back in the day, I made a fair few quid out of the little minis. I've done plenty of them, and they are good little
I
cars.
seem to remember you changing plenty of gearboxes as well.
I did change plenty of gearboxes.
I suffered with gearboxes
in the 6-speed, yeah. I guess we're just going to continue to let this run up and see if we can find an issue with it, and we'll let you know. So into the workshop, first things first, let's get it lined up with a ramp, get the legs of the ramp underneath, lift it a little tiny bit, get all the wheel nuts undone, and then of course we can get that driver's side wheel off and then the driver's side wheel arch liner. So for those of you that don't know, this is the same engine that's in the Peugeot RCZ, the one that we previously had, and the tensioner plays up on them, and we do want to check that because that tensioner and that belt all runs the water pump. We just want to check that all of that is okay first. As I mentioned there, guys, it boiled up pretty much straight away. So we then established that obviously there's no water leak. That's where it's leaking from. It's coming out of the header tank. Now, I've spoken to a friend of mine that's been working on these since they were 3 years old, since they run out of warranty, and he said They're normally quite good on the old head gaskets. It is a thermostat housing, that side. It's all built in, the thermostat. And then of course he's had seen a few water pump failures, but Chris did a couple of checks out there. Much, you know, I'll best let you explain it and it'll make sense then.
So with the thermostat, the idea of the thermostat is when the car starts up, the water is not circulating round the coolant system, gives the engine a chance to warm up quicker. Once the engine is up to operating temperature, thermostat opens and it circulates through the coolant system, i.e. the radiator, the heater matrix, and that keeps the car at its operating temperature. So when that thermostat sticks, which used to be a common thing, didn't it, on lots of old cars, not so much nowadays, to be fair. A telltale is that you've got colder, because some of the heat obviously radiates, but you've got colder radiator hoses than you have the engine. And that's what we've got, we think.
You felt that bottom hose, didn't you? And it was cold, and it was bubbling out the top.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of indicating that the water is... Now, that would tie in with what you was told with a water pump, wouldn't it? But we've shone the light down now, and he mentioned to you, didn't he, that the centre snaps.
Yeah.
So the telltale is you look down there and the pulley is turning, the drive pulley, but the shaft of the water pump won't be. Well, ours is.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going down the route of, now you've rung up
the motor factors. Yeah.
And I'll let you.
And he said basically this. Well, do you know what, guys? Put in eBay if you want to. R56 1.6 Mini Cooper thermostat, and literally there is hundreds of them for sale. I've rung the motor factor, and he said it is a very common thing that he sells. Now, they're not cheap. They're 30, 40 quid on eBay. Today it's going to be 70 quid, but we want to know today, is that our problem? So we are going to concentrate on removing that. I guess we'll have a little look at it, but we're never going to know, and because you can't take the thermostat out of it physically, we don't think. But I guess we're going to just move on, get that strip. There's a new one on the way, and fingers crossed, that is the issue.
Of course, the old school way was pop 2 bolts, 3 bolts maybe, pop the housing,
chuck it in a bowl of hot water,
put in a boil up a kettle. You'd visually see it open.
Yeah, maybe it does come out. I don't know. We'll have a look anyway. Let's just continue on. I guess stripping it down doesn't look like a lot of work. Got a couple of pipes, and you can see it's just bolted on as one big.
I mean, before anyone says it could be a blocked radiator.
Yeah.
Which would cause the same thing, but 72,000 mile car.
You wouldn't think so, would you?
And that what you've been told and what the motor factors have said, it's all pointing
to that direction, yeah.
To that.
Don't get me wrong, if this has been a persistent problem and they've been driving it like this, it could have then moved on to the head gasket and cooked it up. But we are going to get straight in there, because I know this car looks a little bit rough at the minute, but with them headlights all cleaned up, this washed and put, I think this is going to be a proper little peach. Yeah. Let's get in there and get that stripped. So like I said, we need to get that thermostat housing off, and there is just 3, possibly 4 10 mils that hold it onto the side of the block of the head. Once you undo them, you've got just that one clip on that pipe. Pull that clip out, and then you can actually pull it away. Of course, there's loads of pipes going to it, all of your coolant hoses, but you just pull them clips off with a pair of pliers, squeeze them, pull all them off, and then let's take a look at it. I've now got it off. We've put it on the bench, and let's compare it. Little bit of a wait there, but the new one is here. And there is the old one. We're just obviously double checking why they're on the bench. They're exactly the same. Now, where this plugs in round the back end, this piece here, there's a clip, isn't there? And it's going to be a bit of a nightmare, because normally they're in and then you just push it and it will clip in, but it's not. It doesn't work like that. This physically has to be inside the pipe before you can get the new clip on there. So I guess we're going to get that fitted, and then we're going to drop the rest of the coolant that's in the radiator, and we're going to do a proper vacuum flush on it. Yeah. But what is nice is, as soon as it arrived, we noticed that it does come with all new sensors. Well, both new sensors, which is really nice. So Chris is going to get that prepped with a bit of grease, and then hopefully we get it fitted, and we've still got our fingers crossed.
Well,
It's got two chances,
Two
mate,
chances,
hasn't it?
hasn't it? And
Definitely.
that's all you can do, isn't it, really?
I did, when I was removing that, it looked really fast on the time lapse. It actually looked like it was 30 seconds, but I quickly realised after about 20 minutes of struggling with that, I was actually live filming it for the whole 20 minutes, wasn't I? So yeah, let Chris grease that up, and then I guess let's continue on. But I will just show you that pipe that I mean. Let's stick the light in there. So you can just about see, if I can get that light to stay there, just about see just behind here, that is the pipe I'm on about, that black one down there, see? And I've got to push it in and then get that clip back in there. So a little bit of a pain, but it come off, didn't it, guys? It's going to go back on there. Let's do it. You're going to see me on and off here with this thermostat housing. It is a nightmare trying to get that pipe on there, and you can see straight away I couldn't get it on, so I pulled the thermostat housing off. I've dropped a little clip down the back there that goes on that pipe, and I'm now struggling to find that clip and get my fingers on it. So I'm actually considering taking off the inlet manifold to the point where I've undone the 5 bolts at the top there that actually hold the inlet manifold on. What a nightmare this is turning out to be. Sometimes, guys, you just get sent a test, and today's one of them days. So in order to get that new thermostat on there, this pipe obviously runs behind the engine, and there's a little locating dowel there, and it points down. Then obviously you slot that in, you get the bolts in here, and then you need to put your retaining clip in there. The trouble is, you've got 0 of this hanging out the end there, and you've got to try and it's at that angle, and you've got to try and get that clip back on there. And it's not one of them clips where you think, oh, I can just put that on there, leave it on, and then snap it home. It doesn't work like that. It's just falling out. It's not like 2-stage, is it? No. Like a round one. Anyway, I was trying to get that on, and I dropped it behind the engine, and you've basically been watching that whole piece of time lapse on a good 45 minutes of me trying to fish that out. Eventually, I realised, of course, this does just pull out the back of the water pump. So I managed to pull it forward, and then Chris got up there behind the starter, managed to pull that out. So now what I'm actually going to do is get this back in there, leave this out a bit, get this side of it fitted so it's still got plenty of room, and then push it back into the water pump and get the bolts in it. But definitely a test, 100%.
If there was enough room, there isn't enough room,
No.
you possibly have got that, and one of us could have got in there and pushed pressure on that, because it opens up as you press, and then the other one snap it.
Yeah.
But you literally can't even get your fingertips to it, can you?
I struggled to get a screwdriver in there just to pop it to get the old one out, but oh dear, what a day. I'm going to carry on until I get it back in there though. So I did actually manage to get that pipe in there and leave it out about 6 inches so that I could squeeze that thermostat housing onto it. I then went down, you can see I got Chris to guide it in. I went underneath to guide it into the back of the water pump, where I have established and found another problem. So I guess let's take a look at that. Well, last night it got very, very hot in here, and I started sulking with this. So we called it a day. Now that does just pull out the back of the water pump, but I don't know if you can see that, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
It's absolutely
Expanded,
no good whatsoever. That's expanded. So, and we haven't got one of them O-rings like that. And then the more we looked at this, you looked at it, you said it's like, I don't know, has that been filed? Has someone played around with that?
The end of that is not, it's not right, is it?
No.
So
we was going to get an O-ring, mess around with this, because ultimately I pulled it out so that I could clip it up. Because you can now see that dowel I was on about on the bottom there, and that one there, you can now see where I was trying to get it in like that, and then push that clip in. And what I did was pulled this out a little bit so that I had a bit of room there to get that in. And we've decided that, do you know what, we're trying to fix an overheating problem on this car, and it would be false economy to put that on.
For sure.
So I did order one last night off of Amazon, and the only thing I can get is it'll be here today. We have no idea what time. So unfortunately, for now, I think we're going to have to call it on this, because we don't want to put it back together with that. We want to give it half a chance. So I'm just going to step outside and show you guys something else that's very, very exciting. So she's no means a show winner, but what a lovely, usable, classic car. Got a year's MOT on it, and as you very well know, this one is off down to the Hobbs Parker car auction. Chris, it's not always about the money, mate, is it?
It's not, no.
It is not. So quite a lot of you had a good ideas in the comments section. Give it back to the bloke that you got it off. He doesn't want it. He doesn't drive anymore. Auction it off, raffle it off. We had all sorts of ideas. And what we actually decided to do in the end was get it so it's a rolling restoration. You can drive that car all summer. It needs a few little jobs. Like I say, it is not a minter. But we decided to put it through the Hobbs Parker car auction. And not only that, like I said, it's not always about the money. What we've actually decided to do, Chris, is...
we are going to donate the profits from this car to Demelza House Children's Hospice. Very local to us, Rob, isn't it?
Right in between me and you, actually.
That's right, yeah. We've supported them in the past. Really worthy cause.
Definitely.
And also, kindly, James at Hobbs Parker has said they will donate the buyer's fees as well.
The buyer's premium.
Yeah, yeah.
So definitely worth mentioning, when you bid on this car, you will still be paying the buyer's premium, but that will also be added to the pot of our profit to donate to the Children's Hospice.
Yeah.
And
we've supported them in the past. We like doing it.
It's given me a good feeling already.
Yeah,
I
for
absolutely
sure.
love doing it.
I think it's a perfect candidate.
It is a perfect candidate.
You know? We don't know how to value it.
No,
so
that's right.
Let's put it in the auction and, you know,
let the bidders decide what it's worth.
That's it.
I've previously mentioned there is a very, very, very small reserve on this, and I'm going to say in the first hour of the bidding going live, I should think that's probably going to come off because it is ridiculously low, but I just wanted to do it. But yeah, just a brief one, really. We've run it through an MOT. We've powder coated under the bonnet. It's all very clean. It's had 4 new tyres, and it does starts, runs and drives. Does what it says on the tin, and it is a real usable little classic. So if you do want to bid on that car, there is a link for Hobbs Parker in the description down below, or James kindly said, ring Hobbs Parker down at Ashford Car Market, speak to them there, and they'll hook you up with a buyer's account if you do want to bid on this car. Good luck to everyone.
Viewing will be starting, this is Sunday. So viewing will be tomorrow.
It will, won't
from
it?
Monday.
Yeah.
And I believe the auction's bidding goes live Wednesday, but the cars finish on Thursday. Yeah. So everyone's got a few days to get registered if they want to bid.
Are you registered, Chris?
I am already registered.
Because I know you do like a classic, don't you?
I am.
Anyway, the link is in the description. Good luck to everyone that wanted to have a go at that little car, and I'm sure it's going to go for a real bargain. But just bear in mind, all of the profits is going to go to the Children's Hospice. So like I said, guys, false economy, putting the little car back together. It's on the ramp now. It ain't going nowhere. It's completely stripped out. I've got all the wiring off it. There's no coil packs. It's not, well, they're on there, but they're not plugged in. So it's not going to run. It's not going to drive. It's not going to go anywhere. So as soon as this does arrive, I've never ordered off Amazon before, and I've got Claire to order it because she's got Prime, and they said it will be here today up till 10 o'clock tonight, and I wasn't aware of that. And the only reason I bought it on Amazon is because it was like 20 quid, and from the motor factors, it was 50, which is ridiculous for a little pipe, isn't it? So that is going to be the end of today's video on the little Mini Cooper. If you did enjoy this video, of course, we would appreciate that thumbs up. Put all your comments and your thoughts in the comment section down below. Guys, don't forget, I do just want to say it again. I don't get inboxes on Instagram. So if you do, I know in the early days I used to say reach out to me on Instagram. That's not a thing anymore, unfortunately. If you have got a car that you want to offer us or sell us, you need to email me, sales@gmail.com. Include your telephone number, and of course I'll give you a ring and we'll go from there. Unfortunately, Instagram put a stop to these inboxes some point last year, so they just don't never come through anymore. All it is, in the videos I get a few people message saying I've dropped you a message on Instagram, and genuinely I can't see them. So anyway, waffling on now. Like, subscribe and share, and we'll look forward to seeing you all very, very soon in the next one. No joke.